Hi everyone, my name's Christy. Welcome to my corner. Thanks for joining me today for Flosstube 105, I believe. It is Monday, which is very unusual for me, and I'll talk about why at the end. I'll do a whole life update thing at the end to explain why it's been so long, why I'm posting on a Monday, and why I'm lounging in my chair and don't have my normal posture that I normally have. But that will be at the end. In the meantime, this is a really exciting episode because I have three, count them, new released patterns in the past 3 days. 3 new patterns. Who am I? So they're on various platforms. I'll talk about them. I have, May plans. I'm going to talk about my May plans because people might want to join me in my May plans. I have some happy mail that's pretty epic. I think that's it, but I think that's enough. So this might not be too long, but it'll be mighty. It'll be a mighty episode. But before we get to any of that, I want to welcome my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me in my crafty and artistic adventures. And welcome back to anyone who's been with me for however long you've been with me. That's not what I usually say. Welcome back to anyone. Anyway, welcome back, friends. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I appreciate you very much. I don't remember what I said. I got all discombobulated. If you are not following me on Instagram, you can find me at Dr_Christy and also at the Spoolery. I'll put them right here. The first one is my kind of normal Instagram account. And the second one, which I post my stitching and my dog and all sorts of different things on there. My tap dance lessons lately. I started tap dance lessons. It's amazing. So that's all on my Instagram, my Dr_Christy Instagram. But I also have the Spoolery, which is my homage to vintage wooden spools and vintage sewing paraphernalia, which I've been kind of laying low on that for a while. But you're welcome to join me over there and see what I've posted. And then this summer, I have plans, and I really want to start posting over there again because I have plans. Life and work just kind of gets in the way. So anyway, those are my 2 main Instagram accounts. And I also I'm sort of 1/3 of the moderators for the Stitchers Collective Instagram account and Discord. I'll put that right here. And that is a kind of collaboration of almost 90 designers, cross-stitch and blackwork designers, who we kind of work together and collaborate and give advice and uplift each other and those kinds of things. So if you want to see some really amazing designers, check out the Stitchers Collective on Instagram. And if you are a designer, cross-stitch or blackwork, and it doesn't matter how often you release patterns, just that you're active and have sort of a shop and some kind of web presence, shoot us some DM on Instagram at the Stitchers Collective, and we'll send you the Discord link and you can hang out with us. And I'll talk more about that when I get to one of my releases for the weekend. This is a channel about embroidery and cross-stitch and other textile crafts and the history of all those things. So if any of that is interesting to you and you're not subscribed, I'd love to have you subscribe and stick around. Let's do the big release first. So as you know, I have been, I'm a medieval historian, you may or may not know. And so I've started releasing cross-stitch versions of naughty, cheeky medieval marginalia. The last one was Nuns Harvesting Phalluses, which I'll post a picture up here, redacted, so it's totally clean. And that's Medieval Marginalia number 1. And I just released yesterday Medieval Marginalia number 2, which is Toot Your Own Horn, aka medieval butt trumpets. They're sort of like Victorian novels, right? 19th century novels where they have a title and then a subtitle. So this is called Toot Your Own Horn, and it's hilarious. So it is a man with a trumpet on the front and a trumpet on the back. And it is a tiny little image in the corner of a manuscript. I'll post a picture of that here. This is available on my Etsy shop. It's pretty large actually. So this is stitched on a 36 count overcast linen by Cedar River Linen and Design. Jody over at Trixie Tricycle, her company. And it's stitched in DMC. It is a very similar color palette to the Nuns Harvesting Phalluses with the addition of 2 blues and this gold. Although I have included a non-metallic gold option. So here I stitched the gold. I included a non-metallic gold option. So you'll actually, if you download it from Etsy, you'll get 3 different files. Exactly how this is. You'll get one that is no metallic, and you'll get a Pattern Keeper compatible version of this. So I don't remember what I normally say about my patterns. It is about 8,000 stitches. So it is I would call it a medium pattern. It's not a huge pattern. It's not a small pattern. It'll take some time. It's about 8,000 stitches. It's slightly more stitches than the Nuns Harvesting Phalluses by about 500, maybe a little bit more. But it is significantly wider. So it's about the same height, but it's significantly wider than Nuns Harvesting Phalluses. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with it. And I hope that you are interested in stitching him. He'd be great for a bathroom. I mean, he's basically a medieval fart joke, and I love it. So this is my first release, is Toot Your Own Horn, and it's hashtag Toot Your Own Horn Sal. I'll put that right here. And you can find this in my Etsy shop, which is linked down below. Look how happy he is. He's so happy to be tooting. So happy. Oh, and I don't remember if I said this, but here's a picture of the manuscript, and you can kind of see him in the bottom corner. He really is just like stuck in there, and I think that's amazing. So I finished this, and I released the pattern in the past 3 days. I'm very proud of myself. So that is new release number 1. New release number 2 is actually still a WIP for me because I haven't had the time to work on it. As I mentioned, I am a moderator for the Stitchers Collective on Instagram and Discord. And we launched on Saturday an Earth Day charity collaboration bundle of patterns. So I will post sort of I think there are like 4 images. You can see all the images. So in alphabetical order by designer, company, title, I think. And so I designed one of the patterns, and I designed basically it's kind of a sinister sampler, although it's not obviously sinister on first glance. So this is my pattern. It's called Earth Proud, and I am stitching it, but I think it goes this way. I'm stitching it this way. So here I am. And I'm going to bring up the image again. I guess I'm only halfway done. Oh, well, not even halfway done with the border. The text is from a Ralph Waldo Emerson poem. And I don't remember what the poem is called. I'll put that right here. But basically, the first line in the poem, Earth Laughs and Flowers, is often like put on things as like a cute, oh, the earth laughs and flowers, isn't that so nice? But if you actually read the poem, it's a threat, right? This is the earth saying this. The earth is talking to people who think that because they can plow the earth and grow things from the earth and control a little portion of the earth, they think that they own the earth, that they run the earth. And the earth is basically laughing at them, her earth proud boys, right? Her earth proud boys who plow the earth, but don't realize that they'll just end up in a grave, like under the earth. So it's a threat. And I kind of love the threat, like the threatening nature of earth. And it's sort of subversive because it doesn't feel at first like a threat until you kind of think about it. And that's what I want to do with my image here as well. So if you look at the bottom, there's a little like hidden, not so hidden skull at the bottom. And I'm not going to lie, when I came up with that idea, for a good 20 minutes, I thought I was a genius. I calmed down a bit. It's not quite as genius as like, other things in the world, but I was pretty proud of that little skull. Yeah, so I'm pretty pleased with that, and I have not gotten very far in it, but these are amazing patterns, and I haven't looked today, but as of the end of day yesterday, we'd raised over $5,000 for Earth Day, Earth-related climate charities. And I feel really good about that. So if you want to stitch this or any of the other designs, for a minimum donation of $10, you get access to all 31 designs. Oh yeah, it's 31 designs. 31 designs. But I'm stitching this on Fortnite Fabrics 16 count Aida in sea glass. And that's what this is. So that is my second release for a charity bundle. And I'll release this individually. The charity time goes from April 15th to May 15th. And you can find all the information on our Instagram page at the Stitchers Collective. There's a pinned post on our Instagram. So you can check out like all the rules and how you get it there. And then on April 16th, I will release this and put it in my store on my Etsy shop. So if anybody wants to just buy that one, although, I mean, it's going to be $7 on my Etsy shop, or you can get 31 patterns for $10. I don't know. I don't expect many people will be buying it from my shop, but I've designed it, so I'm putting it up there anyway. And I will be stitching it probably not in May, because I'll talk about my May plans, but definitely like in June. The third release this week is my Patreon exclusive release. So many of you know that I have a Patreon where I mostly post historical content. I am a history professor, like I said, and so I like talking about history, and people seem to like my history videos and stuff. Like a couple of people like my history videos, but not everyone did. So I've decided to move my history videos for the majority of my history videos and other history content onto Patreon, and keep this for mostly stitching and tutorials this summer, hopefully. But I also, for particular tiers, so I have multiple tiers. There's like a history tier, there's a support me tier, there's a history buff tier, there is a history stitcher tier where you get all this history stuff and also a pattern a month. And then there's a happy mail tier where you get all that stuff and happy mail once a month. So I just released my April Patreon exclusive pattern, which is this April flowers. And I know that the saying is April showers bring May flowers, but I live in Mississippi, so we've already had our first like early spring blooms come and go. Our, whatever they called, snowbells are already gone. Our daffodils are already gone. So I decided to do April flowers. And I love this sort of band sampler. It's in, I think it has 7 different colors. And I think it's really pretty. And for the flowers, you can do them in any color scheme. It's just a light, medium, and dark. And you can do them any color you want, or multiple colors. And I was also thinking, well, one of my patrons suggested this would be a great bookmark. Just take one like line of flowers and make it into a bookmark. Yes, please. And also I was thinking you could actually continue the pattern and make like a purse strap or something like that, which I think would be pretty cool. Anyway, lots of possibilities for this kind of a repeating pattern. And if you're interested in getting this and supporting my work as a public historian, as a historian for like the internet, and also as a designer, hop over to my Patreon and you can sign up and get this and you can still get my March pattern as well. You get sort of 2 patterns. Oh, and you get an introductory pattern. So you sign up now, you get 3 patterns right away you have access to. So that's that. And that link is also in the description box down below. All right, so those are my 3 releases. My Toot Your Own Horn is my first release. My Earth Proud, which is my charity chart for the Stitchers Collective Earth Day charity collaboration, and my April Flowers Patreon exclusive chart. Those all got released this weekend. What? I mean, it's wild. It's wild. I can't believe I did all that. All right, so let's talk Happy Mail. I got 2 Happy Mails. First of all, I got the best card from Meg from Books on the Moon, and I had sent Meg, she had won one of my Floss Miss giveaways. And my international peeps, I have not sent them out yet. I'm sorry. I'll explain at the end of the video. I do have a good reason. I mean, it's not a great reason, but I do have a reason why it's taken me so long. They will be sent out. I promise. I promise. But anyway, I sent Meg. She got her spool. I think she had a spool ornament. Let me just check. Yeah, spool ornament. But so apparently Meg likes stitching on paper. And she stitched me a medieval oyster. Like, she took an image of a medieval oyster. Yes, that's a medieval oyster. And she stitched it. Isn't that amazing? Can you see her stitches? I love this angry oyster so much. Oh my God. Hilarious. So Meg, thank you so much. This brings me so much joy, and I am going to hang it up in my on my dining room wall because I just can't. I can't even. I haven't had time to work on my dining room wall in a while, just for various reasons because of work and stuff. But I have so many things piled up. It's going to be like the best maximalist gallery wall ever. I'm so excited. The next thing I got, which also included a handmade card, which is beautiful. It's from Kitty, who won my grand prize needlebook. And so she got her needlebook, but she made me this card. Isn't that beautiful? It's bees and flowers. It's so pretty. I love it. I love it so much. It's so pretty. You're so talented. Okay, so just backtrack a little bit. People who do card making and do paper crafts, so creative, like for real. That is not my specialty. That is not a thing that I can do really well. And just the way people kind of put, I don't know if you can tell, like just put different textures and layers. It's so good. Kitty, this is so good. Thank you so much. But this wasn't even the amazing gift that she sent me. She sent me fabric. But this isn't just any fabric. This is like ridiculous medieval rustic linen. There's a boat. It's a boat. It's a medieval lady in a boat and a knight. Oh my God. This is the best thing ever. So it's very rustic linen. Let me see if I can. I don't want to unfold it. I ended up unfolding it at work by accident. It's very rustic linen. So it's rough. So I don't quite know what I want to do with it, but I want to wear it. So I'm thinking it's so much here. I might make it into like a waistcoat, like a vest. Would that not be hilarious? Maybe even like a long vest. Oh, maybe a long vest, because I don't want it touching my skin. It's way too itchy to touch the skin, I think. But a vest doesn't touch the skin. And this would work with brown and black. Anyway, this is amazing. So Kitty, I know I thanked you already, but this is amazing. And thank you so much. And in the card, she said that, oh, if you don't like it, you feel free to get rid of it. I'm not getting rid of this. This is amazing. I just have to figure out how to use it strategically for best impact. Because could you imagine if I went to like a medieval academic conference wearing a vest with this fabric? That just brings me so much joy just even thinking about it. Anyway, so that is like super exciting. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kitty and Meg, for your thinking about me and your kindness. Both of them are amazing. So different, but both of them so amazing. That oyster, that angry oyster. I love it. All right, now let's talk May. So for those of you who may not know, May is kind of a stitchy holiday month for cross stitch in particular. And there are a bunch of different events that happen during the month of May. There's Stitch Mania, which is where you start like 100,000 projects throughout the month. Some people do one a day. Some people do the number of like the year it is. So it's 2023. So they would do 2020. They would do 23 starts. Some people do a new start every week. Some people do monogamy, which is where you only work on one one project throughout the whole month. Some people do Mirabilia May, where they just stitch on Mirabilias for the month, the fancy lady stitches. In the past, I've done Stitch Mayhem, which is where you, this is Tony the Stubborn Stitcher came up with this, and it's basically you do a completely different kind but of textile craft that's adjacent but not quite the same. And so that's when I made my Hedgehog House, my Lindy Stitches Hedgehog House quilt, because it's like using a cross stitch pattern to make a quilt. So that kind of was a bit mayhem. But this year, I've decided that I'm doing Medieval May. And I know it's totally on brand. I told my friend Marcia, and she was not impressed. She was very like, yeah, that makes sense and figures. Well, I'm sorry, Marcia, that I couldn't come up with anything better. But I have a lot of medieval things I want to stitch. So I'm super excited because I'm going to have 3 whips and 2 starts. May has 4 full weeks and a half week, which is what I thought it had. So the plan is that I'm going to, in the first month of May, work on my HAED, my Lady and the Unicorn by Heaven and Earth Design. So this is what it's going to look like. It is a big full coverage stitch. I have not touched this in several months, but here is where I am. I'm at, I think, about 35%. No, I'm not. I'm at about 16%. I'm like, this isn't 35% at all. I think I'm at about 16%. I'm way behind where I want it to be, but I just got totally burned out. And that'll be my starting point. So I'm going to work on this in the first week in May. And May 1st is on a Monday. So I'm going to go from Monday to Sunday. That's how it's going to work. So week 1 will be Lady and the Unicorn. And I'm going to use hashtag Medieval May. And if you have a medieval themed HAED, you should work on it in the first week in May and use the hashtag Medieval May. So for week number 2, for the second week in May, I want to do something completely different and much smaller. And my friend Carol, a few weeks ago, sent me this amazing Medieval Maiden blackwork design by Moss Creek Designs. And Jessie from Bobo Jessie Stitches, if you're not watching her, I'll link her down below, bought this as well when she saw it because she's also a huge fan of the Middle Ages. And we are going to do a Sal in May. So Jessie, I'm starting this the second week in May, whatever that second Monday is. I mean, I'm assuming it's the 7th or the 8th. 7th? I don't know how that works. I think it's the 8th or 7th. I swear I'm not dumb. It's inclusive, exclusive, numbering. It's all very confusing for me. Anyway, I'm starting this maiden and I want to do her in silks. I'm going to do her in blue silk. So this will be week 2. I haven't picked out my fabric or my silks yet, but she's going to be gorgeous. Week 3 will be an embroidery piece that those of you who've been with me for a while know and love, Hildegard of Bingen's Cosmic Egg. So this is where I am. All I have is the little middle. And this is what it's going to look like at the end. And my goal is to get all of this middle stitched in the 3rd week in May. And if I have time, so this is a mixed media piece. And so this is going to be watercolored blue. If I have time, I'm going to do that too. But at least get all this middle part here stitched. That's the goal. So that is week 3. Hildegard of Bingen's Cosmic Egg. This is, there's a video I made up here, I think, where I talk about what this image is and who Hildegard of Bingen is. So that is week 3 is I'll be working on this. Week 4 will be a new start. A couple weeks ago, I was gifted some patterns by Roz Clark of Roz Clark Craft. And so I'm going to start elephantine. And I know that Some of you have elephantine in your collection. So this will be the fourth week in May, the fourth full week in May, Monday to Sunday. I'll be starting Elephantine by Roz Clark Crafts because medieval people and elephants are hilarious. And then for the fifth half week, the last half week, I will be working on my Nuns Harvesting Phalluses. That'll close out my week. My month, I mean. So it'll be #MedievalMay. Even if you don't have these patterns, if you are stitching something medieval themed or medieval-esque or medievalism or, you know, whatevs, #MedievalMay. I think it'll be really fun. I haven't checked to see if that hashtag has been taken already. It probably has been, but maybe Medieval May Sal. And that is all of my stitching and all of my plans for the day. So just real quick, I don't have any haul or anything like that. I haven't been shopping. I haven't had time. Just real quick. I'm actually, despite having a YouTube channel and being super extroverted, I actually don't talk about my life very much. I tend to keep this mostly stitching and professional, but it's weird. Anyway, it's awkward for me. So I had surgery last week. I had minor abdominal surgery last week. So I'm feeling pretty well. It's healing pretty well. And it was very minor. But because it's abdominal surgery, you know, they move things around in there. So it takes longer to heal. So I've been pretty out of commission. I got surgery on Thursday. I've been pretty out of commission until today. I didn't even go into work today. I'm going into work for like an hour tomorrow and that's it. So I'll be back at work on Wednesday for as long as I can handle. But anyway, I'm healing fine. I'm fine. But that was really stressful. I had to basically do extra work throughout the week to make sure that I was like not behind on things for when I left the office for almost a week. And that kind of pushed everything back. And it's stressful and I don't do well. This is where the mailing comes in. Mailing things out already gives me anxiety, which is why I force myself to do it, because I want to like acclimate myself to like shipping things out. But I was already so stressed out about the surgery and about my semester that it was like one step further than I could do. I'm so sorry. They will get out. It may just be at the end of the semester, but you will at some point this summer, at some point in May, my international folks who won get a random package from me. And it may include other goodies as well. I don't know. I just feel really bad. But I had like printer problems, and then I had my semester was going crazy, and then I had surgery. And so it was just, there's been a lot. And now the end of the semester is coming, and I can see it. Like the end is in sight. I can see it. Yeah, I'm not feeling 100%. I'm doing fine. I'm healing fine. But that's why it's been a couple weeks, and that's why it's a Monday, because I was going to film yesterday and I was just not up to it. So I didn't. And, you know, I got to take care of myself. And that's why I'm also leaning back, because I'm trying to give my insides like space to settle. I don't want to squish them up by sitting at like 90 degrees. That's what's going on with me. I just wanted to let you know, but everything's fine. I mean, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Everything's going well. I'm on ibuprofen at this point. So it's like, you know, not even like the heavy stuff. So that's what's happening with me. I'm happy to be here and talk to you and show you what I've done. And I'm excited about my new releases. So go check out my new releases. Go check out my Toot Your Own Horn. Check out the Citrus Collective Earth Day charity collaboration on the Citrus Collective Instagram account. And if you're interested in my Patreon pattern, go join my Patreon. That is all linked in the description box down below. And I think that's it from me. So thank you all so much for joining me. I'm going to go get this edited and posted. And I don't know if I'll see you this coming week, because I'm still behind in work and stuff like that. So I don't know if I'll see you this next week or maybe another 2 weeks. But I will definitely see you in the next 2 weeks. And we'll talk again about my stitching. But now that, I'm so excited. Now that all my patterns are released, I can like show you all my whips, which is very exciting. because I haven't had much to show you lately at all. So I may start stitching on other things than butt trumpets. That would be nice. All right, friends, I'll talk to you later. Please take care of yourselves and have a good one. Bye.